started out life as a sports reporter. How did you get into that? Was it a decision that you wanted to make early on, or did it something you stumbled across?
No, it was always something I wanted to do. It was always a goal of mine to be a sports reporter, and just turn my passion for sport into a job, into work. Didn't really feel like work, but I went into radio when I was about 23. I'd always wanted to get into radio, and it felt like a bit of a pipe dream. Didn't feel like a normal job. Didn't feel like something that, because everyone wants to be, everyone kind of looks up to radio DJs sometimes, and so it seems like quite a far away goal to achieve. It feels like something that only a select few gets to do. So you kind of park it and think, kind of like acting, like if you want to make it in Hollywood. Yeah. I mean, it's not the same thing, but if you're thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to be an actor. It's like, well, good luck to you, mate. Good luck to you. So I parked it for a while and didn't really do much with it. And then, then I went and studied radio at New Zealand Radio Training School. And following that, I got given a scholarship and got put onto a network top 40 radio station. It's like the biggest music station in New Zealand. It's called The Edge, and had a lot of fun there for a couple of years. But then always was kind of leaning towards the sport side of it, and managed to get a job with a company, a radio station called Radio Sport, obviously. Yeah, and they gave me a job as a sports reporter, and I was there as a sports reporter for about 5-6 years, and throughout that I was obviously covering all different types of sport, everything from rugby, cricket, netball. I did a lot of boxing commentary, a lot of boxing reporting, which I got to fly to Vegas and to Germany and places which were a long way away for someone from New Zealand. And I got a really good kind of overall appreciation for all the different sports that New Zealand tend to compete in, and I really enjoyed it. But then I got a visa to come over to the UK, and I don't know how much you know about visas, but at that time I could get like a 2-year visa, and then I'll have to go, and then I'd have to go home. And so I decided to just do whatever I wanted, a Monday to Friday job instead of getting into sport. I was like, I ain't doing that. I want to get on the booze and travel and stuff in the weekends. So I kind of avoided being get the sports stuff for about a year, and then someone kind of put me in touch with these guys that were starting a company called Rugby Radio. And so I got to know these guys, and what that all it was like fans commentating rugby games. And we were commentating, I was commentating a rugby game, like it was during the 2015 Rugby World Cup. And it was pretty low budget kind of stuff. Like for example, me and my mate were commentating a game, and we were watching the game in our living room on a TV and just having gins. Just Red Bull and gin, Red Bull and vodka, maybe it was. It sounds more like it. And we were sitting there and just commentating these games. And the guys from Rugby Radio really enjoyed it. But then that was it. Didn't hear from them for a while. Again, didn't want to commentate all the games at the Rugby World Cup because I wanted to be a fan. I wanted to watch it. I didn't want to be working. I wanted to enjoy it. And then they came back about 6 months later, and they're like, we want to start a podcast. We're going to call it the Rugby Pod, and we want you to host it. And we're going to try and find 2 other people for your panel. And I was like, yeah, I'm keen. Like, sounds like good fun, and it would be good to sort of keep my finger in that sports media world. High, for example. So, and so I started doing that, and they were like, and they go, okay, yeah, first episode is with this guy, Jim Hamilton, and a guy, Andy Good. Do you know who they are? I was like, I haven't got a clue. I don't know who these guys are. Seriously, I had never heard of them. I don't know who they were. you know, we don't really in New Zealand, like you keep tabs from a distance on what's happening over here, but the reality is a lot of the games are played during the middle of the night in New Zealand time. You know, any game that's played during the daytime over here, which is most games, is the middle of the night in New Zealand. So unless you've got a reason previously to, or some sort of affiliation to a team, it's not often that you're actually going to watch.
It just doesn't work out.
Yeah, it's like why am I going to get up and watch Harlequins? Like I don't know them. I don't know who they are, and it comes across as a bit arrogant. But it's like, well, we don't know who they are. Like we'd much rather watch our own teams during the day, or our own teams at night. So yeah, I didn't know who these guys were, and first meeting with them, someone had sort of written up all this information for me to work with, and yeah, rest is history, really. That's how the Rugby Pod came about.